It's Toby from Heavyweight MMA today with professional MMA fighter Matt Myers. Just before his big fight on Eternal. How are you, bro?
Good, mate. Good. Just training hard and getting ready for the big day.
Yeah, man. At this sort of point in your training, when you're heading up to a big fight, it's only December 2nd, right? The fight. So you're kind of in the thick of things right now. Yeah, just in the last sort of peak of the training. How are you feeling at the moment with it?
Definitely at that last peak. This is almost really the last hard week, and then we'll start tapering down and slowing everything down. But I'm feeling very good at the moment. Definitely the fittest I've ever been, and I've competed in sports my whole life, and I've been very fit at times. So to say that I feel means something. I'm feeling very fit.
That's good, man. You talk about the sports, bro. Is that I noticed that it says on your background that you're from Auckland, New Zealand. When did you end up coming over to Australia, bro?
So I ended up coming over here in 2013. So I think I was 17, about to turn 18. Moved over with mum and dad. Pretty typical Kiwi way of moving over. Moved over for work, and I've loved it over here though. Ever since I've been here, this is home to me now. It's
That's it, man. You jumped straight in from being in Australia because that was the same age that you started training as well, right? So you jumped straight into the training when you got over here.
Yeah. So it was actually a pretty interesting story. My mum, I moved here, and you move here at that age, you're going to find it hard to make mates and meet people and do all that, and just get around good people. So mum was working at a doctor's clinic down the road as a receptionist, and Chris, my head coach, came in, and he'd been cut open, I think wrestling with one of the young boys, might have been a headbutt or something. And my mum just loved the way he carried himself and how calm he was and just how respectful and what a good bloke he was. So she sent me down, and I've been there every day ever since, really. Like that's been my home.
It's kind of like fate then that you came together with Chris, eh?
100%, bro. I believe that 100% it's fate.
And tell me about, like, you kicked off with the stand-up sort of style. Is that what you kind of feel is your bread and butter, or now that you've been training MMA fighting for several years as a pro MMA fighter, you feel like you're just a mixed martial artist, or you still feel like you have a favorite area?
Yeah. Look, it definitely feels a lot better knocking someone out. Like it's a good feeling. And I like punching on. So stand-up's always kind of come a little bit more natural to me, whereas the wrestling, the grappling's taken a lot of work. But I'm at the best place in the world, really, for that. I'm coached by five-time Olympic wrestler Chris Brown, so it's all sort of come together well. But I definitely do like striking a lot more, but I'm happy wherever it goes.
It was kind of funny your last fight with John Martin Fraser. Like, as King Casey mentioned in the commentary, she said like she was expecting a stand-up battle, and you guys just kind of wrestled and ground and pounded for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, we both like striking. Like that's the thing, but I think this one will be a bit different with John coming off a full camp and me getting a bit more time to analyze him and break him down and figure out how to approach, because he's a tricky character. Like he's awkward and he's wild on the feet, but it looks chaotic with John, but it's calm and it's actually very calculated.
And the final scorecard was 28-27, although you looked a bit disappointed. Would you say that you took the first round and then he just got edged out the next two?
Bloody oath, yeah. That's what I'd say. I'd say that first round definitely went to me. The other two, just watching over it, I haven't really watched over it too much recently, but watching over it, it looked like there was just a few mistakes on my end that got him those rounds. And, I mean, at the end of the day, he beat me. Hats off. All respect. I'll give credit where credit's due. But I was able to like honestly go back and have a look and go, okay, yeah, there was a few points like in the second round, he took my back and I pulled guard, like I turned back into him. If he'd taken my back and I stood up, you know, that could have given me that round. That could have given me the fight. So, yeah, I was disappointed, but looking back on it, you know, it's good. A lot of growth.
Would you say that if you do it, if you were to be in that sort of thing again, you'd be trying to get up more rather than working off your back just for that, you know, even if you're working off your back and you're landing some nice elbows and that, sometimes that gets scored against you, right?
Yeah, bloody oath. Yeah, that's it. And, you know, lesson learned. And, you know, we move on. Luckily enough, I'll get another chance. But, yeah, definitely get off my back. Because we were stoked with those elbows, you know. Like, we were going nuts with them. Like, I could hear my corner just loving it. So I kept going. And, you know, whereas if they were yelling, stand up, I would have got up, you know.
Yeah. But, yeah, they were feeling it. You would have been feeling it for sure anyway, so you did some damage. Just on the judge's eyes, it might look like not as dominant, right? That's the problem.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's the thing.
Now, bro, on your record, you've had a rough couple of years. I'm guessing it's COVID-based, COVID-based problems. Lots of shake-up over there, eh? And have many fights cancelled. Only one fight in early 2021, and then you've had your one fight recently in 2022. That's the main reason, right?
Yeah, it was COVID. Definitely, it was. So I'm down in Melbourne. We were locked down a fair bit, and it kind of made it hard to get fights. There weren't really any fight shows here, so if we did want to fight, we'd have to work around and sort of get a fight that was hopefully out of lockdown, be able to fly up, wherever it was, whether it be Perth or anything, and then come back. But yeah, it was a rough few years. I think it was 4 cancelled fights. 4 in a row.
Yeah, and then you obviously you mentioned in one of your interviews, excuse me, that you did, excuse me, bro, that you did a bit of behind closed doors training, a bit of sneaky training during the lockdown stuff. Is that something that you think benefited you? Because sometimes, you know, like you said, you couldn't work, so you're there just training, man, like in the gym training nonstop. Is that something that can be a benefit, even though you weren't fighting? Did it give you some time to upskill?
Yep. Yeah, massively. I think Aiden, one of my teammates, he put it perfectly. He just said it was like a bit of a therapy, you know, like it was a horrible feeling during those lockdowns, like just being stuck. And everyone knows it wasn't nice, but being able to get to the gym and actually do something and focus on something was really good, because this is all I do, bro. So this is my full-time job. Like I train in the morning, coach at night.
Yeah,
that's my life. So not being able to do any of that or even get out was hard. So getting to train was massive in my development. Getting that one-on-one time with Chris and all the boys down there. I think there's only 4 of us training. I think 3 or 4. It was huge. So it wasn't time wasted. It was a good year, kind of.
Yeah.
Would have been
That's good, man, because, you know, someone like yourself that trains all the time, it becomes part of your, like, makeup, you know. If you don't do it, you feel like there's something missing, right? So to be able to get in there and focus on it while a lot of people around the world and just are locked down and not doing anything and getting depressed and everything, you guys could actually get to do a positive thing. So it's kind of good in a way for you.
Yeah. Oh, it was great. It was good. It was good. We just we just really focused on a few things. Like, you know, we got time to really delve deep and analyze my loss to Kevin Jessette, and come up with new things and grow instead of, you know, just plodding along and doing the same thing. We really had time to get in the lab and have a good think and come up with new stuff.
That's good, man. And was it focused on anything in particular, any area, or was it focused on just a general game and fixing up mistakes?
Yeah, general game and just a newer way to approach the whole of MMA. You know, like MMA as a whole, and not just taking aspects from striking, wrestling, grappling, and all that. It was creating our own stuff, which was, it was more or less that, just putting it all together and making our own style of MMA, which was what we spent our time on.
Oh, that's pretty cool, man. And now you just got to make up for the lost time in terms of your fight experience, right? Like, obviously, you missed out on the fights that you want to have. What would be your ideal sort of number in a year, like, say, 2023? It looks like it's going to be a bit clearer than it has been. How many fights would you like to rack up?
Oh, 4 would be awesome. 4, I think. But shit happens, and this is the fight game, so people get injured and all that. So I'd aim for 3, but if I could get 4, I'd be wrapped, bro. Wrapped. Absolutely wrapped. And then just keep going from there. I know I've got to make up a bit of time, so I'm looking at the next 2 years, hopefully 8 fights. Hopefully.
Yeah, awesome. And so coming up December 2nd, Eternal 72, up on the Gold Coast, John Martin Fraser for the middleweight belt, man. How do you feel about this one?
Feeling very good. It gets you up. Well, for me, it really gets me up fighting dangerous guys, good guys. I don't know. There's not as much thrill fighting lesser opponents. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a real, it's a different feeling when fighting someone that's scary and that can put you out. Like, I kind of thrive on it. So I'm feeling really good in a good headspace and just ready to get in there and win.
Well, I think you picked the right opponent, man. How intense does he look before the fight, bro? Pacing, muttering under his breath.
Bro, and I'm not like that at all. Like, the way I am is just like, oh, whatever, we're going to go and punch on. Like, it's nothing personal. If it was personal, it would be different, if it's personal, I want to be in the cage, and then it's outside the cage, that's personal. But with him, he's intense as, bro. Intense. Yeah. But it's good. I love it. Bring that energy. I love it.
Yeah, he's a Welsh guy. You can kind of see him. He looks like someone from there, like some roughhead from Wales, pacing backwards and forwards. I'm gonna fuck you up, like he's talking to himself, right?
Yeah. He looks at the physique, John. He doesn't have the physique. Like, I'll go out and say it because it's true. But man, he's strong. He's fast. He's athletic. He's got great cardio. Like, it doesn't matter. But he looks like a pub baller, bro. He looks like some fella down at your local drinker, and he's just like looking for a scrap.
Yeah,
like a concreter.
Exactly. Man, so obviously you're fighting on Eternal pretty exclusively at the moment. If you were to get the belt, what would be your path? Do you want to stick around the Australian scene? Are you interested in fighting around the world or in some of the big sort of associations? What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I think I want to compete with the best. Honestly, like, some might call it delusions of grandeur, but I believe it's true that the UFC at the minute, I think, is wide open. Like, I think that, especially the middleweight division, I think that they're a lot of them are just athletes, very good athletes, and I think they are lacking in a fair bit of the skill department. Obviously, there's some really good guys in the UFC in that weight class, but I don't think it would be a massive run to get to that top 5.
Yeah. The funny thing is, you mentioned that, but I was actually just thinking before you came on, I'm thinking, I wonder how you'd go against those guys. And you got to think, like, I know you said illusions of grandeur, everything. You got to think you'd have a chance with Pereira, right?
Yeah, bloody oath. I mean, he's like any person, any pro middleweight that watched that and didn't think, I can give that guy a go. I don't think you're in it for the right reasons. He looks not that great on the ground. And I know he just got his brown belt, but he didn't look very good on the ground. Like, and even a lot of it, he didn't do much. He looks slow. I think the weight cut's a big thing for him. Everyone's talking about how big he is. I mean, he was slow and a little bit chinny, maybe. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would see like any of you guys, like you said, you got an all round game. So I'd see you guys just exploiting that ground fighting, which you'd say the same with Izzy. But the thing with Izzy, his footwork's the thing that separates him from a lot of people. But Pereira and him are both stand up fighters, so it was a bit different, right? A different sort of setup. Like Izzy, I'd see as a bigger challenge than Pereira. I can just see someone like yourself taking him down and grinding him out.
Yeah, yeah. And I think anyone in that top five, like I don't think Marvin's an easy fight for him. I think that I think that's a hard fight for Pereira, and you're right, Israel's different and super tricky. And I know he just got beat for the third time by Pereira, but I'll go as far to say that he's actually a better fighter than Pereira. I think skill-wise, better. Pereira's just got that great equaliser in his hands. Like he obviously hits ridiculously hard.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. And he's patient too. He took his time.
Yeah. And so I looked at your record quickly. You hadn't had any fights overseas, right?
Nah, none.
Nah. So that's something you should be looking for, man, because obviously a part of fighting, a part that a lot of people enjoy is that, just the experience you can get out of it. Like a lot of people that I talk to are like, man, I got to travel around the world and meet cool people and all this sort of thing. Like whether it's training or whether it's competing, it's probably something good to look for in the future, eh?
Oh, it'd be awesome. I mean, I haven't done much travel, so it'd be great to get over and compete in England. I know I'm a fan of Cage Warriors. Like I like watching Cage Warriors, so fighting for them would be grouse. Anywhere really.
Yeah, man. I think if you can snatch this belt, man, in your fight, I think that you should look at it, see what you can do around the world, because it's a big world, and you can get out there and really experience it, through your art. It's cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Blessed.
Bro, so what can people expect, man? I'll just I want to make a little clip of what you think you're going to do on Eternal 72, December 2nd against John Martin Fraser, bro. What can we expect?
I'm gonna take the belt. I'm gonna come into enemy territory. I'm not gonna have many people backing me there, but I'm gonna go into enemy territory and I'm gonna do what I love to do. I've done it with Ty Duncan before. I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna take that belt. I know it's gonna be a tough fight, and I know what I'm in for. I've worked my ass off, and I'm ready to come and snatch that belt Viking style.
Perfect, bro. Sounds good. I'm excited to watch that show. It's a shame that there was one other main event, right? Got taken away.
Yeah. Yep. Massive shame. I think, especially Dave sells a lot of tickets, so I think that it really would have filled the place up, and it's a good fight too.
Yeah. At least we've still got Justin and Diego on there too. That one should be cool to watch.
That'd be good. That'd be good to watch that.
Cool. Bro, you touched on your coach before, Chris. That's at Adrenalin MMA and Fitness, right, where you guys work?
Yep.
Can you talk about the gym at all, man? Like, what's the gym about? What's the strength of the gym? This sort of thing.
So it's our gyms. It's mostly a family gym, I would say. Really, like we've got a really good culture within the gym. Everyone cares about each other genuinely. Everyone looks after each other. There's a hierarchy in the gym. It's just a very old school martial arts gym, and especially run by my coach Chris. He's been around for quite a while. He's honestly, I think he competed in the first no holds bars fight in Australia. If I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he did. He's an OG. He's fought Hector Lombard. He's just been around, man. 5 Olympics. Beat Henzo Gracie at Abu Dhabi. I think he was a blue belt when he beat him. Like, just to have that kind of guy in the gym is massive. That kind of guy in your life is massive. He's changed my life, made me the man I am today. Like, he's huge. So Adrenalin's home. it's where I've been from the start, and it's where I'll always be. You know, I love that place to death. I think anyone that gives that place a good shot and comes in and, you know, follows the system and the rules, they always end up loving it. So, yeah. But
That's good, man.
we've got a small group of pros at Adrenalin. It's not huge. We're building the amateur program now, so we've got a fair few amateurs coming through. But we've got, a smaller group of pros, but high level, you know, like where it's every round is a competitive round. And, it's always some entertaining spars at Adrenalin.
Yeah, man. And well, it's in your hands, bro. You can get this title and be successful on the international stage. You're going to draw a squillion people to your gym and even just in your area to be looking at training, you know, if they see you being successful.
Yep. Bloody oath. Completely agree with that. And I'm really aware of that. You know, it's a big thing to carry, and I'm aware of it, and I'm carrying it happily and proudly.
Cool. Man, talking about the gym, like, MMA's come in leaps and bounds over the years. Like you said, it used to be clutching some different styles and whacking them together. And, you know, there was no sort of science about it. There's all the science now, man. You've got everyone focusing on, strength and conditioning, recovery, diet, all this stuff. Do you guys have, like, elements of that within your gym as well?
Yep. So we've got an ice machine. That's our we've got a bit of a system going. Like the pro trainings are very structured. You know, like I know that on Monday I'm going to do a certain thing. Tuesday I'm doing certain things, and it's like that for 10 to 8 weeks. You know, especially when we're in camp. But we've lived that lifestyle. Like that's our life. It's not like we train for 10 weeks, then we disappear. We're always kind of in that system. But and that system is, weights, recovery, certain sessions, cardio, strength and conditioning, all that stuff. It's all kind of built into our program. But
yeah, man.
I don't want to go.
Fair enough.
I don't want to go too much into it. I might get into trouble.
Yeah, no, fair enough, man. No, you're right about what you're saying about coming and going between fights and that. Like, you find the common theme with the successful guys is their persistence and consistency in that, man. Like, talking to Lolo Hamuli, I don't know, you're probably aware of him from New Zealand, man, master coach. He was talking about Ray Sefo, and he's saying that he had some amazing people come in as good or better than Ray Sefo over the years, but Ray was the type of guy that would be there every day. Straight after a fight, he's back in on the Monday. You know, this is the mark of a successful fighter, you know, so it's good to hear you say it.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle. Like, so the first bloke that I kind of trained with, he's become my best mate, you know, like we've been best mates 10 years now, and he went down a different path. We still train together. He's still one of my main training partners, but yeah, just the difference in level, just from going down those two different lifestyles. And in saying that, he's much more talented than I am. Like, he's a freak, bro. Absolute freak. Like, crazy talented. He could be Jimmy Crute right now, you know, like he's a monster. Yeah. And just wanted to go a different path, and he went that different path. But yeah, it's like the difference in level is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man. I read something. It's talking about like natural ability is that the thing that gets people to be superstars and that. And generally, it's not. Generally, it's the circumstance and the way they're learning something. It's usually about the learning style and or the attitude, etc. So it's kind of a good lesson for people that want to do something. It's not always about natural talent, man. Like, because natural talent, he gets you so far. You got to have the drive behind it and the right teachers, etc. Right, to get there.
Yep, bloody oath. And there's a element of luck in it too, eh? Like there really is. Just like you said, situations, like certain situations that come in your life.
Yeah,
mate,
you could have showed up at your local taekwondo gym and been a 5-time Australian taekwondo champ by now.
Yeah. I'll be like 8th degree black belt 10 years ago.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, bro. Anyway, I'm done with a bit of time here, bro. I got to run, but yeah, thanks for your time and wishing you the best on Eternal 72, bro. I'm not picking sides because I'm going to talk to both of you guys, but yeah, best of luck, and I can't wait to see the fight.
Yes, thanks, Toby. I appreciate it, bro. Really do.
Cool. Thanks, bro. Thanks for your time, eh?